What up, y'all? It's your girl back at it again. And I just got another little revelation with myself, with God, with myself. So I keep seeing it around a lot, and I think it's because of something that I deal with, and I'm sure people deal with this too. God's goodness is not dependent on your goodness. When I say that, I mean trying to be perfect in order to kind of earn God's blessings and his love and honor on your life and his grace on your life is like chasing the wind. It's not attainable because you're not going to be perfect enough. And I think, I know that for me, that's something that I picked up. And I feel like because of the way I grew up, I found out later that it's called an anxious attachment style. And it's kind of like, basically, as a child, you know that the only way that you can survive is by staying with your parent, right? Unconsciously, like biologically. And so at one point, it got to the point where it felt like if my parents weren't happy, that somehow meant that my livelihood was going to fall apart. Again, in my head, biologically. So my anxious attachment style was, I need to please my parents to secure my livelihood. So I'm emotionally responsible of keeping my parents happy in order to stay alive. That's how I operate. So because of that, I literally, you get to the point where the anxiety in your body connected to the people pleaser in your mind is like do or die. You have to make everybody happy. You have to appease everybody. You have to try and earn love. So I tried to earn my parents' love. I tried to earn my dad's love especially. And a lot of times the relationships you have with God is directly connected to the relationships that you have with your parents. And so there's been a lot of times where I felt like, dang, this is just like God, I'm not worthy. Or I'd be condemning myself, or I'd be beating myself up. Or even I would just be kind of talking myself out of asking for blessings or asking for favor. Because I'm like, you don't deserve this. You're not good enough. You're not perfect. But God doesn't operate like that. That's brokenness. That's a trick from the enemy to convince you that you have to be perfect. Taking yourself out of even asking for your inheritance because you feel like you're not perfect enough. And that's not the point. God is perfect. Jesus is perfect. And that's literally the point. He shares his perfect nature with us because he loves us so much. Not because we earned it. And the more that we try to just be our best, but also allow God to validate our weakness, the better it gets.